Okay, so the big idea of this is I'm going to have 5 AIs fight with 5 AIs. Now, the special thing about this is we're going to try different AIs by different people, and I'm going to pick the most popular ones and the one that I use quite a bit. First match is going to be Radiant versus Dire, as usual, but of course the Radiant will now be FuriousPuppy's famous BotXperiment mod, and the Dire is going to be PubSimulator. And personally, I have a slight bias for PubSimulator on skills because they're very high skilled, but BotXperiment, as it should be, has a lot of different type of heroes on them. And so I'm excited to see how this goes. It's going to be a best of 3, and I'll mix it up as the game goes on. So I'm going to have spectators enabled so that I can be a spectator. Let's see how this goes. Okay, is the game working? It seems like it is. Alright, so on Pup Simulator or the Dire we have Sniper, Lena, Sand King, Wraith King, Bristleback. And on Radiant we have Shadow Fiend and Tiny Lich, Death Prophet, Oracle. Now the problem with the Radiant is that I can see a very decent combo with Lich, but not much is going on. The game's going far too quickly for me to commentate. Alright, let's see if they have Sniper or Lena mid for Dire.
Nice to see you. I'll pick.
Okay then, let's see how this goes. Right, so very basic starting skills. Full spray on Bristleback, and it seems that Lena bought the Courier, and Sand King got the Observer Wards. Now on the Radiant team, I think that it would be the Lich who bought the Courier. I'll call them by name now. So Lionel, Harriet, Bertram, and Monty are all going top lane. I'm guessing Lionel's going to know. Who has the ward? Okay, so Bertram is going to ward. The teams are all sticking together. Very safe play. We can see that Bertram is going out to ward. And for the Dire, I think probably Vivian who warded. Very classic ward position, looking out the lane and the river. Bertram is thinking about stealing the Dire's top rune. So far we see that Bertram took the rune, but on the Dire team, Stan and what's his name? Stan and Maybe. Wait, no. Maybe and Bertram is on the same team. My bad. So the Maybe actually got 2 bounty runes. So it's 3 bounty runes for Radiant and 1 for Dire. Alfred is making a very questionable move. So is Vivian. Meanwhile, Monty is doing his damned best to deny and last hit. Very solid last hit and deny. That's a stun from Monty, and that's also a freeze from Lionel. Wraith King is very low, and he's pulling back. I'm expecting a stun out of... Oh, wow, very well. Very good save from Vivian, but he put himself into a bad position. I advise against trading here, Vivian. Although if you can stun him, that would be nice. Lionel is committing far too much for this. Another hit from Alfred would have been death for him, but Alfred doesn't have enough mana for it. Looking at bottom lane, we have Maybe and Bertram. Maybe's still relatively safe. Bertram is safe as well. Stan and Loop push the lane really far back as expected from Sniper and the Quill Spray. Loop is diving really far back, probably hoping for a gank. Bertram is going to root him. That's 3 consecutive races. But you must remember that that's a beautiful... Oh, that's First Blood. So yes, the raises from the Shadow Fiend's no longer as strong as it used to be. But the mistake that Luke made was that he used his Quill Spray near the neutrals, which dragged the neutral out for a body. What just happened? Okay. Benjamin. Quite a bit of XP deficit on Harriet. She's going for the regen room, which... Oh no, she's not going for the regen room. Is she trying to check for the bounty room? Doing, and she failed because I think Relina. That's just going to exacerbate the XP and gold deficit that the Death Prophet has next to the Lina. So, even though mid is not doing that well and Harriet is making very questionable movements, thanks to the triple bounty rune early game and the very beautiful kill by maybe Bot and Bertram, BotXperiment is having 700 gold lead. However, the Lina and the Sniper are going neck to neck for highest last hit deny, and that means it's going to be a rough mid or late game for BotXperiment. Very good save by Bertram, but he's bone dry and... Oh, okay. Got caught by the Satyr, and that's a kill for Lootbot, actually. That's a bounty rune for each team, but that's a kill for Dire. Very static stuff going on in top lane. Skirmish up right here, and I believe that's death for me. The Lina is very far ahead right now. Level 5. Death Prophet is level 4.
Dire's middle tower isn't going to last
Lina
long.
already got her boot and finished her magic wand. Harriet is still on her null talisman and her 2 fairy fires. She doesn't have to worry about movement speed as much as Lina does, thanks to her passive, but right now the Lina is still very well ahead. And with the low cooldowns on the DP's spells, that's only going to feed the Lina's magic. Bottom lane, maybe he's not coming back to lane yet, and Bertram is getting serious harassed by the Sniper. Luke has not got a single last hit since the beginning of the game, but he does have a kill, and so his item progression looks normal. Stan is getting massive. Finish his magic wand, his wraith band. I expect a Ring of Aquila, and that's probably a casual magic wand. Top lane, skirmishes from Vivian and Alfred all around. Vivian overextended, but Lionel didn't capitalize because he was low. That's a sandstorm out of Vivian. Lionel is very out of position, and that's a kill. That's a kill for Alfred, and he's right now farming up the jungle small camp. So despite the better farming from the Radiant boss experiment, I believe the Pup Simulator team on Dire is getting a small net worth advantage thanks to the kills. But we still have a way to go. Now we can see that there has been some changes in the last hit deny board, with the Lina for the first time falling behind the Harriet bot. Now I believe that is due to the fact that the Lina doesn't have any extra damage thanks to the static items, but Harriet has boosted her already impressive base damage and no talisman and fairy fire with blades of attack. And it seems like a gank from Tiny Monty coming up for a stun. Do not dive. And Harriet does not dive as well. A casual flame from Benjamin that doesn't hit anyone. Vivian's teleporting top. Apparently missing a gank from top, from bottom. Maybe. Being aggressive. Bertram falling behind. No. Maybe overextended. I believe that's a kill for Luke or Stan. And that's a kill. Bertram is getting followed. He's getting gooed on. Loop is quite low on mana. And meanwhile, Vivian got a kill on the Lich. Oh, and Benjamin on the Lina is following up. That's a disarm. But that's also a kill. That's a 5 kill advantage for Dire. And that's a 700 swing. Maybe is getting pushed back far behind. Bertram is teleporting back to bottom lane. Alfred is jungling. And Sand King Vivian is not doing anything interesting right now. I believe he's going to try to Sandstorm, or maybe he's going to try to gank. Alfred is desperately low, but Monty does not have the mana, but Lionel does, and he frees the bones to death. Vivian get a couple of love taps, and Benjamin managed to snag double damage rune. He might be coming up top to help Vivian, but he doesn't. Lionel bot forgives the chase, and it seems that he's going to go back to lane. Alfred decides against jungling. Harriet is holding the lane well, and it can be shown with her having the highest last hit denies on BotXperiment. And it seems going to be a team fight right here. That's ultimate from Harriet, that's a stun, double stun, and that's a disarm from Bertram. Beautiful. But Loopbot is proving to be so much to handle. Bertram got hit by the slow and got finished by Benjamin. That's a double kill on Benjamin. Harriet is really low. He managed to get away. That's a 2 for 2, which is a great trade for Radiant, seeing that they are very far behind. Benjamin popped both Clarity and a Tango. He has 7 Tango, and it seems to me that she used both her Arcane and her Magic Wand in that last fight. Beautiful stun from Monty, by the way. Double stun from Monty and a root from Bertram. And very nice early ultimate from DP. Now, I don't usually go early ultimate on DP, seeing that ultimate on Death Prophet is only strong at level 2, which means level 11. But it seems it paid off in that fight. She's alone, that's a 1v3. Vivian and Benjamin diving way too far. I wonder if this will work. Beautiful double stun by Vivian. He might pay for it. He does. Stan is trying to chase, and Benjamin is trying to chase. Here's a stun, and follow up by a root and a knock-up. That's a kill for Bertram. Maybe he's chasing quick behind. Luke managed to TP back. Benjamin is running for his life. That is a 1 for null, and that's a free win for Radiant. However, Dire does get the tower, but not the last hit. Team fight all around. Alfred is focusing on last hitting With his massive swing, Power Tread was his choice for damage and movement speed. It seems like another 4-man up mid for BotXperiment against a 3-man. That's a beautiful ultimate and a triple stun by Monty. And that's a double kill by Lich. Amazing ultimate. Monty is going far too deep, but he is tanky and he should be okay for now. That's clarity from Bertram, and Luke must stay behind. Vivian and Alfred might have came to help with the team fight, but here comes the ultimate from Death Prophet and the triple stun from Vivian, but that doesn't do anything because he got melted by the ultimate. Alfred might as well popped his ultimate. That's a 180-second cooldown. And a flame from Benjamin. That's a stun from Alfred. Harriet might be dead here, but it remained to be seen. Alfred? No, he doesn't follow up for the stun. Wise decision, considering that he already blew his ultimate. Standbot coming back to bottom lane for a farm after probably grabbing the bounty rune. Vivian is running around after warding. Loop is low, but he can manage it. Benjamin is very healthy and farming up mid. BotXperiment is putting a lot of pressure on top lane, while both teams are leaving mid and bottom lane free. A 4-man rotation from Dire. Quick bounty grab. This seems to be another under tower fight. Both teams are ready. That's an ultimate. Oh, and that's also a root. Oh, Dire is so low. That's a 1 for 2. Stan. He wanted to tap an ultimate, but the Tiny already got away. Bertram, you are very low. He's still staying for the XP. Harriet is already back to mid to farm. And so is Maybe. It seems to me that BotXperiment is really capitalizing on Pub Simulator's lack of rotation.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Vivian and Luke at mid trying to get some work on Harriet.
Dire's bottom tower is being chipped away.
And it seems like Maybe is pushing bottom bit by bit. Vivian and Loop rotating bottom? No, that's not a bottom rotation. Alfred with the bounty rune. And Bertram farming up his way. He already has his arcane boots and windlays. And ooh, that's a kill on Tiny and the mid laner. And that's a kill on Lionel bot too. That's a 3 for 0, 1 by 1, 5-man rotation from PubXperiment. I take back what I said about the lack of rotation from PubXperiment. Because what could have happened was that Bertram could have come and helped mid, but he didn't. And now they're pushing middle lane. A safe TP in by Maybe and Bertram, but that might be a death sentence for Bertram. Monty coming up close for a double man stun. That's a nice toss by Benjamin. That's ult from Benjamin and ult from Maybe. That's a kill on Maybe, but Stan does get the double kill on Bertram and Tiny. Benjamin very low, but he got out of the fight. That's a wasted ultimate from Lionel, and Stan is going to get out of this one. I do not understand what the Lich was doing. Despite having made some bad decisions early game, it seems to me that PubXperiment has managed to level the field. 4-man rotation mid and an ultimate out of Death Prophet, commanded by Harriet. It's actually a 5-man. Will Lootbot manage? No, he get melted, and Wraith King is going to die as well. That's the tower and a free kill. Bertram Bot is keeping his entire team healthy, but Harriet does not have the mana for another engagement. That's ultimate from Vivian. He's going to move in. That's a beautiful two-man stun. Harriet managed to survive by the ultimate from Bertram and maybe is bursting down the Sand King. He might die to this. No, he doesn't. He has a sliver of health left. Harriet managed to survive. And amazingly, BotXperiment walk out of that engagement unscathed, having taken back their kill parity and a tower, a 2k net worth swing. Amazing work by Radiant. Luke, Bot, and Harriet, some very questionable movement. Stan is back to bottom lane to farm. Harriet has finished her Veil of Discord, and it seems to me that maybe he's building up to a Yasha. Yes, that's his goal, and that's a two-man gank on Harriet the Death Prophet.
Not much good's happening to Radiant's bottom tower.
Let's take a look at the kills. So far, the Lina has been very far ahead. 7-1-4. That's an ultimate from Lionel. Very beautiful ultimate. Managed to slow down the enemy team, doing some massive damage.
Radiant's middle tower shouldn't have to take this abuse.
Maybe decided to take 20 attack speed instead of the movement speed. And here comes the rotation,
Middle tower is
but
under
only 2-man against a 3-man? Would that be a good idea? Oh, Harriet is back, but Lionel is dead. That's a kill on Vivian by Monty. And that's a root from Bertram, but not much is going to happen. But Monty finish it up with a knockup. Loop is back very low, and they manage to defend the tier 2 mid tower. Very neck to neck, I must say. I was expecting BotXperiment to be destroyed by PubSimu, but it seems that FuriousPuppy did great work. Standbot grabbing the illusion rune and managed to steal BotXperiment's top bounty rune. Top lane being left alone, and that's a team fight. That's ultimate from Lena, but she got silenced, and that might be a kill. That's a killing spree gone. Maybe got destroyed, but Monty saved temporarily by Bertram. That's another kill by Harriet. Oh my god. Beautiful ult from Harriet, but that's a horrible ult from Lionel. Loop is really low. He might be gone, but he managed to escape. That's a 1 for 4.
Dire's middle tower isn't going to last long.
And for some reason, they're leaving their courier in a very dangerous position, and no one is taking advantage of that from PubXperiment. How disappointing. Alfred is back to protect the lane. Harriet might be overextending here, but no response from PubXperiment just yet. He's diving very far back, being attacked by the tower. That might be a double stun. And finished off by the sniper's ultimate. That said, that's still a 2 for 4. And a 2k gold advantage for PubXperiment. I mean BotXperiment. Benjamin teleport in and get melted by Benjamin's ultimate and Stanbot's follow-up. Monty is quite low, getting healed back up by Bertram. Stanbot is falling down on the ultimate and the fire rain. Not doing much good. Vivian with a beautiful stun. Bertram saved himself with the ultimate. Monty with a double stun and a knockup. Not doing much. That's a kill on Bertram, but also a kill on Stan. Beautiful ultimate, but it's not going to save his life. 10% magic resistance and 15 damage from Vivian and Alfred, respectively.
Dire's bottom tower needs some help.
massive wave of creeps. And there goes the tier 2 for BotXperiment.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
The kills, but mostly the tower, has swung back the gold advantage to PubXperiment. I mean, PubSimu, my bad.
Radiant's middle tower could use some help.
Not much is going on so far. Vivian, down to his last clarity, but stacking a lot of observer wards. That's a 3, maybe 4-man rotation up top by PubSimulator. That's the ultimate from Harriet. But they are not engaging just yet. They might be waiting for the creep wave. Maybe. Got tapped unnecessarily. That's a stun from Vivian. That might be a kill on Harriet, and it is. Bertram is out of position. Monty is chasing way too far. And that's a kill on Bertram. And that might be a kill on Monty. The Lena was not worth it, and that's a 2 for 3. Double kill on Stan. He finished his Dragon Lance, his Aquila, and his Power Tread. Loop with the double damage, working out on some neutrals. Maybe it's back to farming, and he might need some time to max out his souls. Alfred is also back to neutral farming. And for some reason, the Dire is still leaving their courier there. Lionel moving up top. Maybe Bertram, Monty, that's a 4-man rotation up top. I can also see Vivian and Loop and Alfred moving up top as well. That's a 5-man on top for Dire and for 4-man for Radiant. I'm not sure if Harriet is going to make it, but it seems that there goes the top tower for Dire. Benjamin used her dash in, and that's a death sentence. Overkill, but probably necessary. PubSimulator split up in that fight and allowed the Lena, their mid laner, to be destroyed. Let's check the net worth. So the highest net worth right now is the sniper. But everyone else seems to be from the Radiant team. They might take tier 2 as well. A team fight and 2 towers. It seems to me that BotXperiment is going to push the advantage, and only Benjamin is coming to greet them. Here comes a response from Dire. Monty diving far too deep. Stand bot. Alfred might have to waste his ultimate here, but that's going to slow the entire team down, and that's a kill on maybe. Lionel very low, being saved by Bertram. Bertram might be killed by the tower. The beautiful stun from Alfred, and that's a kill on Lionel as well. Harriet is very out of position, a stun from Alfred, and that's a kill as well. That's a 4 for 2. They overextended. They stayed for too long. Overstayed their welcome. But it was a costly defense for PubSimulator. Monty survived the skirmish by not being around. Vivian. Wraithfire Blast DPS has been the talent choice pick for Wraith King, the Alfred bot. He's back to jungling now, which is something that the BotXperiment team doesn't have, because they do not have someone dedicated to jungling. And so they're losing slightly on gold lead. Well, yes, they still have the gold lead, but it should have been higher. Very focused mid-team fighting from BotXperiment. Meanwhile, Alfred and Luke going for a top push. Luke is drastically low. That's a kill. That's another kill. Lionel is very low. Stan is going to get this kill. Ultimate on, but blocked by the Oracle. Stan got yet another double kill, and he's tapping on maybe bot. Harriet overextended. She might die if the Alfred decides to come and help Luke, but he doesn't. And that's a TP back from Luke. Radiant top tower is going down, and maybe decides to take the rune instead of last hit. Denying. Vivian caught Harriet finally. There's a long-awaited stun from Alfred. But the beautiful, beautiful root from Bertram kept all of them inside the ultimate, but he had to sacrifice his own life for that save. All the cores from Radiant is now in position 3, 2, 3, and 4 in net worth. There goes the bottom tower from Dire as well. Massive rune grabbing from both teams, but as usual, the bounty rune advantage goes to BotXperiment with a better rotation. An ultimate from the Lich, but a beautiful 4-star from Benjamin. Montybot blinked in. That's a 3-4 man stun, but that's an instant kill, and there's no follow-up with that. That's an ultimate, and that is probably a kill and maybe as well. Exceptional work from Stan and Loop. This might yet be another kill for the Pup Simulator. An ultimate on Stan. Loop might follow this up, and that's a 4 for 0. It's a 7 kills, and things are looking back quite badly for BotXperiment already. A very back and forth game, if I might say.
Not much good's happening to Radiant's bottom tower.
Stan is being exceptionally powerful, but BotXperiment has better rotations. That's Alfred with the beautiful stun, being killed by Bertram. I don't think the ultimate is going to save him. Monty is probably dead. Loopbot is probably dead as well. Maybe he decides not to follow up, and that's a free kill for Stan. Triple kill. Another 4 for 1. That's a 10 kill deficit for BotXperiment, and honestly I don't see how they can come back from this. Stanbot is being absolutely disgusting right now, and he's probably going for Yasha, perhaps? And going for Manta style later. That's a 25% cooldown reduction decision from Stanbot. Very good decision considering that he's always outside of the fight and poking in. Meanwhile, Benjamin is doing great work at pushing top lane, and Vivian, after taking the rune and warding, is not doing anything, but that's a very nice ward on the Radiant high ground. Stan is just hanging around, trying to get some last hit here and there. Lionel, Bertram, and Harriet going all middle lane, and the problem with the good rotations sometimes is that when you are all together, you do not get the XP advantage, and that's what Sniper is having right now. Beautiful ultimate from Lionel, but that's probably a 5-man stun and a 5-man ultimate. It's an absolute disaster from Vivian. It's a rampage for Vivian. Good God! Happened all so quickly. It's a beautiful, beautiful rain. Shrapnel from Sniper, slowing everyone down. Vivian with a prep ultimate, stunning in 5-man. Absolute disgusting work from the Sand King. Netting a 5-for-1, with the only casualty being the Lina. Loop is now tanky enough to solo the Ancient Camp with his Vanguard and Blade Mail. Alfred with his Blink and Armlet of Mortian online. Pup Simulator seems unstoppable right now. Vivian also with a Blink Dagger. Good God, the mobility on Dire. Benjamin coming back to mid lane, swapping her magic wand. Out for the Ogre Club. Staff of Wizard, point booster. I am seeing Aghanims in the future of Lina. That's going to be very devastating, seeing that it's going to be pure damage on the ultimate. A failed nuke by Harriet, but it's enough to grab the attention. Stan! Finished by Lionel. I must have missed something right here. That's a 3-4-man gang. Maybe it's far too deep. Monty cannot blink out, but he does manage to TP out, I believe. Very good reaction from Monty the Tiny. Alfred warding up the jungle. Might not be his work, might be Vivian's work. Vivian is lighting up the Radiant upside right now. BotXperiment again try to regroup for a fight. They do have a lot of good opportunities right here, with the cause on Dire being down. Lionel, Monty, and Harriet split off. Ultimate up. Maybe. Bertram. It's a 5-man rotation up mid. Benjamin is back, but it's 7 seconds until the Sniper is back, which is not a lot of time. Beautiful stun from Benjamin, but cost him his life. Beautiful ultimate! That might be it for Loopbot. But Monty is far too deep. Bertram saved himself with the ult, but it's not enough. Harriet might not escape this one. Monty will, though. That's a 2-for-1. And beautiful blink by Monty, dodging the fire from Alfred, but I believe Vivian will blink up for a stun right here. Will he? Won't he? No, he turned back to stun the creep wave. A bad decision, but the rampage that he made earlier kind of replaced all that. 34-47 with a 6k deficit on BotXperiment, and Pup Simulator might be thinking about doing Roshan right now. Alfred, for some reason, is still leaving his armlet on. Since Armlet of Mortian is an HP removal item, it doesn't count as health loss, which is why you can still blink with it activated. But he is desperately low, silenced by the Bertram bot. Monty being saved by the ultimate. That's a beautiful kill. That's a beautiful another kill. Stan being melted by the Lich. Monty overextended, but it does trade back with 2 cores and a very rich support. However, it's still not enough to pull the team up from the bootstrap. Tiny decided to buy back, and Alfred is having trouble with his ancient stack. Now, I do not think that Wraith King is a good hero for stacking and killing ancient all by himself. But Alfred seems very confident.
Dire's
Maybe
bottom tower is under
treading
attack.
very dangerous waters, trying to steal a bounty rune. But Alfred is alone. Questionable decision from Maybe attacking an Alfred with late mail on. That's ultimate from Maybe. That's Alfred's ultimate down. That's a root from Bertram. And I believe that's a kill. Benjamin does not really have any answer to this. Vivian, beautiful blink in, but immediately busted down. That's the tower down, thanks to Harriet. They are doing very quick work of the racks right now. Luke getting busted down, but so is Bertram. Oh, the beautiful cyclone dodged the skills, but I don't think Bertram can get out of this one. That's a 2 for 3. However, they did manage to get the tier 3 towers and the 2 racks very low. What BotXperiment doesn't have in damage and team fighting capabilities is being replaced by a stalling power with the silence from Harriet, and the pushing power as well with the ultimate from Harriet. Monty capturing 2 bounty runes and bottling up. Lionel with the bounty as well. That makes for all the bounty runes going to the hand of BotXperiment. And they managed to close a 7,000 gold deficit. Lionel is very out of position, getting the full brunt of his own power by hitting the Alfred reflect. Vivian using his Veil of Discord, but he is getting out of this one. Harriet healing her team up? No, that is not her, that's Lionel. She is very ready, and that's a very dead Wraith King. Monty is low, but he does have more than enough mana to stop this, but he does not have the cooldown. Here comes Stanbrook from afar, and that's a very dead Tiny. Another beautiful stun and ultimate from Vivian. I mean, there goes the Black King Bow and Harriet as well. A dominating streak and a double kill from Stanbot, who only have to stand behind and get the kills. Vivian is probably the MVP of PubXperiment, of Pub Simulator right now. Benjamin and Luke making good work on the farm up top. That's a 4k swing in gold. 5-man push and a creep wave. I do not believe that they can get through this. Maybe with his BKB, but he's not going to live through this unless he runs away right now. Bertram ultimate himself out of a temporary death, but only temporary because the damage is far too high, and he will turn up to the graveyard. Benjamin low on mana, but does not have to worry because they have 6 range creeps. And there goes the Shadow Fiend, Monty, very low, Harriet with his BKB on. Luke, far too deep, my friend, far too deep. 2 for 3. 2 for 3. But it still is a 2k swing, an extra 2k swing for Pub Simulator because Stanbot is alive, Alfred is alive. And that's Mantis Style online for Stan. Monty. Harriet and Lionel going mid. Very empty map right now for both teams. Melee Rax is almost healed to full on Dire. Alfred doing good work on the Ancients. Lionel and Harriet pushing up, but it's going to be very difficult to push high ground with only those two. Harriet, you cannot fight this, and he won't. A lot of bounty runes going to BotXperiment once again. Lionel going back straight to base, I believe. And Harriet is caught off guard. Maybe. And she got out. A BKB and a TP. But that's 60 seconds without magic immunity. Monty is very out of position. That's a very dead Tiny. Bertram. Bertram is dead as well. The game still swings back and forth, but it's never going to be equal from this point on. Seeing that PubSimulator is doing extra work. The stacking by Alfred and Lupe and the neutral farming by Alfred is amazing. And the mobility on PubSimulator is just so much higher than BotXperiment. Now granted, BotXperiment does have very good rotations, but that means they are low on XP, and rotation doesn't guarantee a winning teamfight. Lionel has been making some questionable ultimates so far, and the great ultimate from Harriet is not enough to counter that. Standbot BKB up, out of fear of maybe, probably, but he's diving far too deep. What are you doing, maybe? Wasting your BKB like that? Very dead Shadow Fiend. Probably a very dead loot bot as well. Could this be a dead sniper? I believe not. Harriet decides to leave the chase, but she is pushing. No, she's not pushing. Questionable choices. Harriet is wasting her ultimate while Vivian escaped a close death with his sandstorms. Harriet is finally pushing, but she wasted a lot of time on that. At least she got the range racks down, which means they will have better creep. Oh, but Harriet's dead. I meant to say better creep. Equilibrium? Monty and Bertram farming up bottom. Vivian safely back in base. Alfred probably working up to his stout shield, and Benjamin probably going for a Scythe of Vice right here. And they are going for Roshan. Dire is going to start Roshan. Alfred is probably going to tank it. And they're not doing it. Such a letdown. I believe Roshan would be a very good boost for the already seemingly undefeatable PubSimulator team. Solid rotations from BotXperiment as usual. But that does not stop the push from PubSimulator. Now you can see both Bertram and maybe coming back. Beautiful ultimate. Ultimate from maybe as well, but it's not going to save him. Bertram far too low. Lionel busted down by Vivian again. There goes the tier 3 thanks to Standbot. And Loop not even joining the fight. They are that confident. Harriet with a BKB on. Boom. There goes Vivian. Harriet being saved by Bertram's ultimate. Stan is being far too deep and saved by Alfred. Maybe he might kill himself right here. Alfred moving away with his very tanky body. Bertram not doing gate walk at all. Stan quite low, still diving up for some reason. Loop piercing the backline, killing Harriet. 3 for 2. A few cores actually. This is looking bad for BotXperiment already, even more so than 10 minutes ago. A 10, close to 11k gold lead. Let's look at the net worth. Massive net worth lead. Sniper is around, what, 6,000 higher? 7,000? 6,000 higher than the next person in line. Tiny is not doing good at all for who's supposed to be a core. Stan. Two-man push, three-man push from BotXperiment. Pup Simulator is getting ready with Alfred and Benjamin already in the base. Very good ultimate from Lionel. BKB from Maybe. That's a dead Tiny. That's a dead Lich. They just cannot fight with the power of Loop and Stan right now. The Sniper and the Bristleback is simply too powerful. That's a dead Maybe. A very dead Shadow Fiend. 14,000 gold deficit. Will they actually go for the Roshan this time? It seems that they will be. Finally, after 2 attempts. But they are just clumping up. Very bad positioning, but the power from this team is just so high they don't even care. There's no response from BotXperiment, rightfully so. 3 of their teammates are down, including both cores. Bertram snatch a bounty rune, but that's nothing because Bristleback. Loop now has the Aegis. He's even more tanky. And with the Arcane Rune, they're pushing very confidently. Standbot pushing from low ground, but he doesn't care. Because all he needs to do is to stay safe. Monty is dead. Double stunned by Vivian. That's a BKB from Vivian. Lionel getting out of the way. Bertram bot trying to extend his life with his ultimate. Not going to work. Beautiful ultimate. But that's a godlike for Standbot. Maybe is coming up with his BKB. Stan might lose his godlike right here. Loop making a bad decision, diving in. But he's just so tanky, he doesn't even care. Vivian. That's both racks down mid for BotXperiment. I believe the end is near. Maybe making a last-ditch effort. Alfred just keeping his armlet on like it's nobody's business. Benjamin coming in with full health and mostly full mana. Solid nuke from Benjamin. 4-star Vin, and that's a wipe! Benjamin, with the Aghanim's ultimate, dealing 850 pure damage. They're pushing deep in. Tier 4 of BotXperiment is tasting the pain. Alfred pushing through it. Vivian, Benjamin with
Radiant's middle tower has
his
fallen.
amazing attack speed. Vivian quickly cleans up the wave with his caustic finale. And this might be the finale for the BotXperiment team. 3-man down. Maybe he's teleporting up, but he's dead. Monty being saved temporarily by Bertram after being hit by an ultimate. Benjamin is low, but I don't think they can stop this push right now. Bertram is almost dead. There goes the Lina. Loop is quite low, but he still have, mind you, the Aegis of the Immortal. Lionel with his beautiful ultimate, getting Bristleback dangerously low, but here comes Vivian with a beautiful 2-man stun and a sandstorm. Harriet does see him though, and get him desperately low. Vivian is in a very bad position right now. Unless he blinks away when he still can. Maybe coming in, and Harriet just finishing him up with a nice line nuke. That's the Ancient exposed to BotXperiment, and 22.5k lead for Pup Simulator. Loop Bot diving in deep. He doesn't give a care in the world. Harriet. Oh my god. That's AC on Bristleback. And that's Stanbot benefiting from the AC. Monty. Maybe. Monty is back. Maybe he's dead. Loop Bot with a killing spree. And that's Stanbot kicking everything down with Manta. This game has stretched long for almost an hour now, but I believe it's coming to an end. That's a stun and a knock-up from Stan, but he's just far too powerful and far too quick for the poor Tiny, especially with the Loop Bot nearby. The attack speed from Manta is doing work now that Mjolnir is online. Bertram is getting hit, saving himself with his ultimate. Meanwhile, middle lane is just bursting through Ancient. Tier 3 bottom lane is being melted by Stan. Harriet is trying his best to defend middle lane,
Bottom barracks.
but bottom Rax is getting attacked as well. Bertram managed to lure the creep wave back in, but that might be a very dead Lich, and that is a very dead Lich. Stanbot.
Radiant's bottom barracks have
Benjamin.
fallen. Radiant's
That's
bottom barracks are
bottom lane completely obliterated.
Radiant's Ancient is under attack.
The Ancient is being surrounded. That's a buyback from Lich and Shadow Fiend. Maybe. Doing his best. BKB from Maybe. This might be the last ditch. Stanbot melting down the Oracle quickly. Maybe melting down the Lina, but melted down back again by Stan. Lionel finished by Stan, making that a triple kill for the sniper. This might be an ultra kill, but it doesn't matter because all the creeps are attacking Ancient. This might be game, lads. This might be game. And it is. It is GG for Pup Simulator with the superior neutral farming, stacking, and all around team fighting. GG.